We're selling calendars, raise money.
Trying to see how far Farsight will let me go before it stops.
You can go across the entire continent, it's just certain things won't load.
Like right now, I am. Where the fuck am I? Site will let me go before it stops.
You can go across the entire continent, it's just certain things won't load.
Oops, hit the wrong button. Like right now, I am. Where the fuck am I?
Teach them dead.
What does Farsight do?
It allows you to just continuously travel as far as you want and see. Where the fuck am I? Basically,
It allows you to farsight.
Teach them
I
dead.
mean, like right now, I'm looking
What does
down
Farsight
on all of Stormwind. It allows you from the highest mountain point around it.
Cool.
Try to see like at the Iron Forge. There's Blackrock Mountain.
We've got a good group here. See, oh, Virtue's dead. Now we see Bear actually is going to be able to heal since he rezzed Virtue. It's good to know. Yeah. I'm going to start streaming. So since we'll be sharing things.
Why is all your voodoo white?
That tells me that folks are not buffed. So if I forward everybody, then they go their normal colors. And then since I'm still white, well, I'm a priest, but it just tells me that I don't have. Oh yeah, and it's white because of the warlock. The warlock.
I knew it.
Buff
You were white the
overrides
whole
it.
time.
So.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what it does, Virtue.
I don't have a stamina buff.
You should. The Dark Intent.
There it is.
Man, it's good to see everybody. It's been too long.
I have a wisdom buff from my mana regen.
Monday's coming.
I think he was answering the question I asked
Oh, okay.
about the XP. Because if they haven't nerfed it, 3 hours you can cap out to 90 just soloing Grimbatal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to start. We'll see.
You're gonna need all the rep in the world. That's the thing. to clear.
Yeah, but you won't get the quest done opening week. Like, it's not even worth fighting them. Like, if you can boost up in 3 hours and then go to the 90 zones where nobody else is yet, except for the tryhards.
Yeah, because like you can start the Calaxy. It's not like as soon as you hit 90, you can just go do that. You're not going to do much Calaxy before that anyway.
And then the other one is Veil, which you have to be 90. Yeah.
Right, so it doesn't really matter. Plus, if you do the quests at 90, you'll get like 50, 60 gold per quest.
Is there anybody that's in Discord but is not in the raid in game? That's how we're taking roll by looking at who is in game.
It looks like there's more people in Discord than are in game.
Yeah, if you guys be able to know who's here, that'd be really, really helpful.
Yeah, I'm switching over right now.
No worries.
You weren't joking, Booty. I'm literally in the hinterlands right now.
Do I ever lie?
Um,
Don't answer
yeah.
that.
The COC quest. Does anyone know what going into MoP, what kind of XP it gives if you haven't done it?
At 84 to 85, it only gives 2 bars.
Oh shit. Well, I mean, it's better than nothing, I guess. An 85.
And only 2 bars at 85. That's quite a bit of XP.
Yeah, because everyone's capping right now with the dailies and Told Red and all that shit.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to be that much of a sweat. I'll hit 90 when I hit 90.
I can see my chat now. Everyone sees it. Ha ha ha.
Nice, Mac.
Whoever Kato stabs is, they're creating a bunch of bandages. Here's where we make your graphics card go crazy. It's Pandas, All-Mighter.
Oh well, you get the picture.
Yeah, but I don't want to have
Really,
to.
All-Mighter?
I don't want to have to manually invite everybody. Yeah.
We're going to a new expansion. I don't like that attitude.
Yeah, I just have a few things going on. That's all.
Ah, shit.
Me too. I'm trying to cap out on justice points and otter points on 8 characters.
You doing the Grizzly Hills daily? They give him 500 honor a day now.
Yeah, I was doing that whenever it only gave you.
So was I. Yeah.
But now
I hate doing PvP.
Board, I see you every single time I go over there on every character.
Yeah, I'm usually run all my alts over there just because it's passive. Like you can do it starting at 74, I think.
I seen you on your druid and I seen you on your warrior a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys hear me?
I ended up boosting a rogue, and I'm surprised. Rogue
We can hear you.
fun.
I can hear you.
Perfect.
Thanks. Didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
Oh, good.
You didn't interrupt anybody important.
No shit.
5:30. Is it gonna start yet?
I think we're I think we're about ready. All right.
It's a no-fly zone meeting.
Yeah, if we can get everybody out of the sky and down, so we can start getting organized, please. All right. As we always do, there's a little door prize competition. If you are currently, like right now, wearing a guild tabard, please go inside the gazebo. If you're wearing a guild tabard, go inside the gazebo. Okay. All right. Among you that are in the gazebo, if you do a slash roll, and the top 3 people will be selected for competition. Okay, so everybody except for Slim Jimmy, Sabaru, and Chickadee. Those look like the top 3. Everybody else can go down, so those 3 can stick around. Now, all 3 of you guys, are y'all able to speak in Discord?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, super. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a classic WoW trivia, and we'll just go down one person at a time. And if you get a question correct, then you will continue on. If you miss the question, then you're out. So first one up, and let's put those people in the same channel here.
This is all guild trivia, isn't it?
It is not guild trivia. This is classic WoW trivia. So who did we have here? We had Sabaru and Slim Jimmy, and who's the third one? Chickadee?
Chickadee.
I love it. Who is that anyway?
Glazed.
Oh, it's Glazed. Okay. All right, super. All right, so we'll start with Sabaru. First question. What was the name? And I'll give you 10 seconds. If you know it, either you know it or you don't. What was the name of the elite dragon NPC who patrolled Black Rock Spire and could wipe raid groups if accidentally pulled?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right. That would be Ember Strife. Let's see. So Sabaru is out. Slim Jimmy, which dungeon required the Scepter of Calibras to reach the final boss, and with what faction is it associated with?
Theridus?
Sorry, what's that?
Theridus?
So
Maybe?
what was
Or Oldham?
was the name of the dungeon?
Okay. Sorry, M-Stone was not planned for this. Let's do Oldemon and faction I don't know.
All right, so it was Maradon and Cenarian Circle. All right, well, there's 2. Well, hopefully Chickadee will know the answer or something of this next one. So in original or in classic WoW, what was the minimum level to be able to enter Molten Core, and how could you do it?
I have no idea.
55.
55.
It was 55 in attunement or running through BRD. All right, so we're going to go back to Sabaru. So you're back in. Sabaru, what was the debuff limit on raid bosses in vanilla, and how did it impact raid strategy?
Was it like 20 or something? I know you couldn't, like, warlocks couldn't put curses up and stuff.
That is half correct. It's 16. So let's see.
Wasn't it 10 at one point?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Slim
It
Jimmy.
was.
Slim Jimmy, what quest line awarded the Onyxia Scale Cloak, and why was it and why was it important?
I know it was important because it allowed you to block Nefarian's breath, so you didn't have to go hide behind the throne.
Yes.
Regarding the quest name, I do not remember because it's a bunch of them, but I know it's for a Nixia quest.
All right, that is correct. That is correct. So you've got one correct. So what that means is that Chicken DD has one more question to see if she can stay alive one more round. So, Chicken DD, what undead boss in Scholomance cast Curse of the Plaguebringer?
Oh, is it that Snape ripoff from Harry Potter guy?
Wasn't in classic.
I'm gonna say that classic was out before Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just literally don't know.
All good. It was Ras Frostwhisper. And it was deadly because you had to bring someone to be able to decurse. So, by my math, it looks like Slim Jimmy is our winner. Slim Jimmy, open trade with me.
Give him a happy rock, because that would be hilarious.
The happy rock. All right.
That's the prize, a happy rock.
All right. I'm gonna give him some gold from my personal stash. Congratulations on winning trivia. Congrats.
And those are some hard questions.
They are hard.
Right? I was like, dang.
Yeah, they're really, really tough. So, all right. So we are ready to get started. Thanks everybody for being here tonight. It's good to see everybody. I know a lot of us have been working really hard to get ready for MoP, doing a lot of leveling, alts and mains and professions and all that. So it's been, since we finished up with Scarlet Enclave. I know it's been kind of a long period, but glad to have everybody together again. We want to go over kind of some things that we'll be looking at for for our upcoming raid. Is everybody able to see my PowerPoint screen? You'll need to be looking at my screen.
No, how in the hell do I do that?
So in the raid channel, you can click on me and you should be able to watch my stream.
Okay, I got you.
All right.
Does it say Filthy Casuals MoP rating phase 1?
That is it. You have found it.
Then I don't see it.
Perfect. Love it. All right. So let's get started. Just kind of a reminder, we always want to remind folks that our guild motto is to treat others as you want to be treated. I know a lot of you guys have been with us in the past, and ladies as well. But just that kind of that reminder that we're a family, treat one another with the respect that you want. We don't want anybody ever to leave our guild. We want people to say, this is the kind of guild I've always been looking for. So don't be toxic, be respectful, love, don't hate, all of that sort of thing. So just a reminder of who we are as a guild. So let's talk a little bit about our plans for Mogushan Vaults. So a couple of things to remember, and it's going to be a little bit different from Season of Discovery. And I think the first time that we go into vaults, we're going to recognize that it's not Season of Discovery anymore. It's not, it's not flex rating. You have to bring an exact 10 or an exact 25, and really you kind of started a little bit with Kata, but the difficulty in MoP ramps up in terms of the raid encounters. So it is a step up in difficulty. So I want you guys to kind of remember that. We are going to wipe. We'll probably wipe quite a bit on some bosses, but we want to just manage our expectations. A couple of things to remember is that officers, we're going to be looking at logs, and we love everyone in this guild, but in the end we can't struggle and carry anybody. We have to have 25 people that are hitting on all cylinders, and so the ask is that everyone needs to be responsible for their own performance. That means looking at your own logs, making sure you're prepared for every encounter, that sort of thing. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but we're just setting the stage here. In the end, we're not, we don't want to become that sweaty elitist guild, but also at the same time we have some really, really good players, and some folks that I would consider excellent WoW players. And you know what happens is when you wipe endlessly to stupid things, is demotivational for those really good players because they're carrying a lot of other people on their back. So it's not so difficult. The encounters are not so difficult that a guild like us shouldn't be able to kill every end boss on heroic, but you know, to do that, we have to have 25 people pulling in the same direction and doing what they need to do. So let's talk a little bit about what our officer corps looks like and what our leadership looks like in MoP. And one of the things that I would just say that was an issue with us at the end of SOD is that we had a few too many chefs in the raid. And so, you know, we want to, you know, my goal anytime that we raid is to have peace, love, understanding, and not contention and strife. And so, you know, this is a reset for us. We're not gonna be having that anymore. There was a lot of yelling, there was a lot of discord, and at the end of Scarlet Enclave, and you know, we just want to get that fresh start and just kind of establish that leadership. So to do that, I just wanted to announce that both Virtue and Runeword are going to be our co-raid leads. What that means is that they're going to be in charge of developing strategies, of doing the research for our raids, and they will also be responsible for most of the raid call-outs. So Virtue and Runeword, they're on. When I give you guys the floor for a second, you know, anything that you guys want to say, anything that you want to bring to the table, now's the time for both of you guys to say hello. And they are two of our officers. Virtue?
Hello. I didn't know if Wu wanted to say something first, but I guess I'll go.
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So, big takeaways from raid leading and just overall raiding through SOD and things like that we don't want to encounter in MoP is we want to make sure that everybody is working towards a goal of perfecting their class. I'm not expecting perfection. I'm expecting you working towards a goal of constantly improving in your character. Looking at your own logs, sharpening your own axe in that fashion, and studying the fights, knowing what's going on beforehand. In that same regard, you're going to get that out of myself and Wu. And we will be consulting with other people. I want to make it sure that everybody knows that there's an open avenue to we should try this. Most of you that have been raiding with me know that I'm very open. I'm open to opinions. Some things that you have seen in the past that you think should be changes in the guild. They may have been slow changes, but I've made them happen over the time that we've been doing this. So, those are some of the main takeaways, and just personal responsibility overall with showing up with raid consumables and proper enchants on your gear, and you know, all that being said, I think those are the biggest takeaways. If you're not familiar with logs currently, I don't like to press too much on logs. It's not something that I go to look at and judge people on, but I will say this for everybody's edification. And I'm not going to name any names, but some of the best players that we've had come in, when I was recruiting them, they led with, "Would you like to see my logs?" And I said no. The reason being is they even asked me the question, would I like to see their logs? Just by virtue of the fact that they're aware of their logs and they're looking at their logs and they sharpen their own axe. That's exactly the type of player I want on some of my teams. So that being said, if you're not a type of person that looks at your logs, take a look at them and see where you can improve. I can improve all the time, and everybody in this guild I know has room for improvement because everybody has room for improvement. So that being said, turn it over to Woo. That's pretty much what I got.
You forgot homeostasis.
Yeah, I'll let Woo pick that one up. I did come up with that, but that is a big thing when we're rating is um in my group I like that quiet silence when everybody is focused and you almost don't like I mean the call outs will still be there, but all that needs to be said is the call outs. Like and like people that have raided with us know what that sounds like and what that feels like. And then when we get a boss kill that we've been working on forever, Wisp usually yells out, "Let's go!" Like right at the end, right when we get it, like it's all done. Like, and it was like perfect execution, or pretty darn close for us for our standards. So like that feels really good, and I want to keep feeling that. So that's that homeostasis that we're talking about is having good balance. Everybody shows up, does what they're supposed to do, and when we have that good balance, um, we have that feel, and that's what we're looking for.
Good stuff.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Boo.
Yeah, and just to avoid any confusion, the reason why Virtue's calling me Woo is that was the name of my second character in SOD.
Yeah, and he was my main tank, so that's what we always called him. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. But yeah, no, I just you know, I'm looking forward to diving into MoP with you all and just seeing how how far we can take it. I don't have a whole lot of raid lead experience as sort of a main raid lead, but at the end of SOD there kind of naturally sort of took on that role just by being a tank and being part of Virtue's group. Been raiding with Virtue since I think phase 5 of SOD, so it was BWL. And just to kind of reiterate what he was saying, especially towards logs, I know that thinking about logs can sometimes get a little intimidating, right? Because a lot of people associate it with being really sweaty and parsing and speed running and all the rest. And there's really lots of different things that you can get out of looking at your logs. It doesn't have to be, as sweaty as some people might make it out to be. But just sort of looking at like what other people in your class and spec are doing, taking a look at your own performance, and just seeing where you can get that extra edge can oftentimes make all the difference. And really, that's what we're looking for. Is we don't want people to just stay up late and study for hours and hours and hours trying to min max everything, but just being aware of what your role is, what you need to do, and where you need to be for each fight is something that I think is going to be really important. Our goal is not to create an environment where people feel like this is a second job, or feel like if they underperform they're not welcome or anything like that. We want to create an environment that's fun and relaxed and all that, but at the same time, for everyone who's signing up to raid, you got to understand that there's 24 other people in this group who are also dedicating their time to come together and play. And so it's each one of us sort of has a responsibility to pull our own weight. We're getting into a phase of content that's not like Classic, where the mechanics are a little bit more punishing than they may have been in Classic, where if you fail to miss something in an encounter, maybe you just die or get out of position and you're sort of out of the fight. But now we're at a point where certain mechanics that we need to follow could end up making the difference between wiping and getting a kill. And so we just want to make sure that we're minimizing those wipes, keeping the homeostasis at a maximum, making sure everyone's having fun, because even though it may seem like, oh well, it's not super fun to be super sweaty, it is fun to clear the content and get loot and all of that. So that's really what we're trying to do. And also to echo what Virtue was saying earlier, is that we also do want to welcome feedback from a lot of members of the raid. You know, I'm not sitting here claiming to be the smartest guy in the room. You know, so any sort of feedback, strategy, anything like that is certainly welcome. We just want to create a forum so that there's a time and a place for everything. And oftentimes, this is a lot of what we experienced in SOD, is that a lot of feedback sort of came at, you know, maybe the timing or delivery of how that feedback was communicated didn't really, wasn't really done in such a way that it was received positively by a lot of members of the group. And so we really want to try to avoid that and make sure that, you know, when it comes down to it, you know, Virtue and I are going to be the ones making calls in the moment. If you want to approach us privately, more than welcome to do so. If you want to have a open discussion before or after the raid, we're always welcome. That's always welcome. And yeah, I think that's, you know, we're just looking to set ourselves up for success and have a great next few months or however long MoP lasts.
Well spoken, and thanks to Virtue and Runewood for stepping up and offering to lead the raids. One thing that might be beneficial that just kind of occurs to me, and maybe just if you want, that might be helpful, might be to have a little workshop one evening to figure out if you don't know how to read logs. Maybe we just have a 30-minute workshop where we look at a log and learn how to dissect what they mean, so that and utilize them for your improvements. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely
I like that idea. I think normally I've kind of done it one-on-one with people. I know I don't even know if they want me to mention their names, but there's been a couple of people in the guild here that have really they've pointed me in some good directions with things I didn't even know with logs. But we're kind of talking about Riz and Tish and Jux. These guys have been super helpful as far as being able to sharpen my own axe. But I'm more than willing to, if you want to come to me, I'll show you how to go through it, or we'll set up a workshop. I think doing a workshop for people to go through logs is a great idea. I also have some really good YouTube references of some people that are much smarter than I am that walk you through it as well. So if you want those references, feel free to reach out to me, or more than willing to set up like a little workshop where, you know, a bunch of people can get together and chit chat about it and share some tips. I think that'd be good.
Cool. All right, so I think we're in good hands with our raid leading. So my responsibility, obviously, as GM, I'm going to be taking care of logs. We'll continue to master loot everything out using SoftRes. I'll manage the team roster, do the signups, and more or less manage the heal team. But you know, most of the raid leading is going to be done in terms of being vocal in the raid. I'll probably call out for some sort of heal cooldown, but other than that, most of the talking is going to be done by Virtue and Runeward. And then Bear is our fourth officer, and Bear's going to be taking care of donations and the guild bank. So I'm going to turn it over to Bear so he can talk a little bit about the bank. And there's Panda Bear.
So I'm going to keep it short. It's a bank. Tab 1's going to be free for all mats. Obviously, things that are donated to the guild are put in there from random raiding endeavors. 2 is going to be deposit only. Opponents from raids, mats, gems, glyphs, enchants, whatever you want to donate. And then tab 3 is just going to be stuff for us to sort out for whatever we will be making for the raid. That being said, though, do your best to kind of bring your own mats. The stuff we have is going to be limited early on, if anything. Cooking is going to be super easy to level up once you actually get out to MoP into Half Hill. It literally takes like 20 minutes doing the vendor recipes. And those consumables from cooking are better than what the feasts will give you once you get to max rank with them. And yeah, we'll turn on guild repairs. Did they ever fix the issue that was with cash flow or whatever?
It hasn't been fixed yet, but I presume that it is only available for that. The reason that it's not granting gold, at least what I've seen on the forums, is because it thinks that max level right now is 90, and we're not doing content relevant to the current expansion pack. So that's probably why we're not getting that cash flow right now.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll do auction house shuffle stuff for stuff that we can sell to.
Yeah. But the main thing is please keep it clean. Please keep it orderly. Make Bear's life easier. And I'll
take care of that. No worries.
If I see 12 stacks of linen cloth in there, then
that stuff's going in the auction house.
It'll go in the auction house.
It is. I'm selling everything that's frivolous.
All right, let's talk a little bit about, thanks everybody. Let's talk a bit about attendance. A lot of this is common sense, guys, but it's just, we have to say this because, we're not flexing. So we have to have a constant 25. So if you get a raid spot, it's a commitment. Absences should be extremely rare. It is really, really difficult for me to fill your spot if an hour before you whisper a raid and you whisper me, hey, I'm not feeling so good. I'm going to check out tonight. And I understand that emergencies happen, but in the grand scheme of things, your absences should be really, really, really rare. And so remember that if you do take a raid spot, you're committing to being there for 24 other people. Also, I'm going to ask you to be proactive to sign up for raids. We'll get our sign-ups down there a month at a time. Just the warning, and I know that Virtue's team did this. We did this a little bit. But if you don't sign up for a raid at least 2 days before the raid, then I'm going to assume that you're not raiding, and I'm going to replace you with a sub for that raid. So the best thing to do is whenever I put out signups, please make certain that you sign up. Just sign up for the raid. That makes my life easier. Please don't make me run you down and whisper you in game and in Discord saying, "Hey, are you raiding?" Just make my life a lot easier by being proactive. As has always been our policy, if you are a no-show, and in other words, if you sign up but you don't show up, we'll just replace you permanently and with somebody else that wants to raid with us. Again, I understand life happens. You might have to work late, your internet goes out, that sort of thing. But the sooner that guild leadership knows, the easier it is for me to fill your spot. So my request is that if something like that happens, contact me as soon as possible. Send me a DM through Discord or in game. And the thing is that everybody has a smartphone, so there are no excuses not to communicate. So please, if you have one of those extreme emergencies, we understand life happens, but do let us know, because otherwise it looks like a no-show. And then just the last thing to remember is that we do track raid attendance. So folks, if you have some spotty attendance over time, then that speaks pretty loudly to that commitment to the other 24 people. All right, so what are we looking at? So we're going to have one 25-man raid team. The majority of the folks that filled out the survey indicated that the best nights for us were going to be Tuesday and Wednesday, 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. server. That's Eastern time. So it's a very, it's a very focused 2 hours. We're going to pull right at 8:30, and if we get there a little bit early, we might start clearing trash a little bit early if we have time for that, because it's a very, very short raid time. So the idea, what we want to do is we want to get at least one clear on normal before we start proceeding to heroic progression. It might make sense maybe to do an off night normal run, once we have that on farm. But our goal is to do heroic progression and kill the end boss, the heroic end boss of every raid. Because our raid time is limited, only 4 hours a week, that means that we really have to make the most of everything. We probably won't take a break since it's a 2-hour raid. We're going to start on time. So, everybody needs to be buffed up, ready to go in the instance, not waiting for summon right at 8:30, because that's when the first poll happens. Right now, our roster is a few over the 25-person limit. So promotions are, but what we'll do is we will do promotions to the raid team. It says if you are raid ready, it says by 7:27. Officers need to talk about that date because the raid actually starts on 7:31. So officers are going to talk a little bit about that, but the main thing is that you need to be raid ready if you want to be promoted to raider rank and to earn one of those permanent roster spots. If you are not considered to be raid ready, then we won't be considering you for the 25-man team, and we will fill your spot with somebody else. So main thing is, as soon as MoP drops, it's a mad dash. You've got 10 days to get raid ready. It's not impossible to get leveled and to farm your previs and get your heroic dungeon gear. But it's going to take a real commitment of time to get there. If you didn't fill out the raid survey and you do want to be considered, I have reopened the raid survey, and I would like for you to take it if you're in this meeting. If you want to be considered for a raid team, because chances are the people that signed up on the survey may not make it to raid ready. So we're going to just pull anybody that's available out of that survey. The raid survey, the link to it is in announcements, so please take that if you haven't taken the survey. All right, so you may ask me, what does raid ready mean? That means by 7:31, you're going to be level 90. You're going to have an eye level of at least 463, and 463 is 100% heroic dungeon gear. If you show up in a bunch of greens, then we're not going to consider that as having made raid ready status. So that is what we're looking for is 463. And there are some items out there that you can farm that are a little bit above 463. Do the research, figure out what it is, but that's the magic number that we're looking for. We also are going to ask you to study the encounters in Mogashan Vaults. In the past, we held hands probably a little bit too much. We'll be sending out links to videos and to resources. Certainly Wowhead is always a really good way to study the encounters. I'm going to leave that to Virtue and RuneWord, whatever resource that they have, but you please don't show up for raid not understanding the encounters. That's really going to push our progression back, so you do need to understand.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is there's a lot of different information out there, and we're going to do the best we can to identify which strategies we're going to use so that everybody walks in like understanding on the same sheet of music, instead of we'll basically prescribe like the information that we all want to move forward on, and we're going to be talking with some people going forward. It's not just going to be me and Woo. We're going to be pecking off a couple other people to pick up on some information. So you'll hear more from us in the future. Yep.
Love it. Thank you.
One more thing on that too is that, relying on 12-year-olds, or I don't know if it's been 12 years, but
information, yeah.
Right, it may be outdated with all the changes, right? This is not the MoP that we experienced originally. There's lots of class changes, right? The meta is shifting up, and so new things may come up that we got to be flexible for. So we're gonna do our best to prepare, but it's also not out of the realm of possibility that things will change.
Awesome.
Exactly.
In terms of preparation, you need to bring a flask. You need to bring any potions that you need. So for pre-pod or during the encounter, during the encounter, you need to bring your own food, because as Bear said, the feasts are only they're not as good as your own individual BIS food. And then within reason, you should try to have as much as your stuff is enchanted as possible. You know, for example, if you've got a 463 weapon, you're not going to want to throw, you know, an epic enchant on it. Just do your best and try to have as many enchants as possible. Make certain that you've got your best glyphs on as well. Glyphs are important, so make certain you've got your glyphs set properly. Don't forget them. And then just, you know, the last thing is do some research. Get on Wowhead, whatever resource, your class Discord, and understand your class fully so you can perform at your best. And again, we'll do the workshop so you can examine your logs and get better. So that's what Raid Ready means, guys. Just a couple of things. We talked about reputation. Do some research on which factions you need to be farming rep with. A lot of them have important profession recipes or pre-raid BIS pieces that you can purchase just because you meet, because you meet the rep level requirement. An example of that, and it might take a little bit, but you can get a 489 ring from the Claxi faction. And they also have blue weapons that you can get. So, that's one of the things that you'll need to do is just really kind of make certain that that you know which factions are most important for you to be pushing those reputations. And that's all on Wowhead. Okay. Also, consumes matter. We talked about it a little bit, but you compare the feast. The Pandaren Banquet is only 275 stats compared to, this is the Agi food, it's 300 stats. So we do the math and we understand that that personal food is a lot better than feast. So for that reason, you're going to need to bring your own food, okay? And then, so do that research, figure out what is the best food for you, and then pursue that recipe so you can learn and create it. Or buy it, whatever you have to do. Because there are no cauldrons in MoP, you're going to have to farm and buy your own flasks and potions. Okay, so so kind of keep that in mind as well. So you might ask, what is that the guild will provide, and Bear talked about a little bit, but those of Raider rank will have access to guild repairs. And we don't have a lot of gold in the bank right now. I think we're sitting on about 15,000, which isn't a whole lot. But we'll turn on guild repairs to be used during raids only. Okay, so we may forget to turn it off, and so it's going to be an honor system thing. So if we forget to turn it off, for example, and it's not a raid night, don't click the guild repair button, because we have limited resources. Please don't abuse it. Use your own repairs for if you're doing other open world content. And then we really kind of need to see what repairs look like before we attach an official daily amount for raids. So as soon as we know what that looks like, then we'll set that limit for you guys. So. And I guess the final thing is, we put a new raid policy out there. You've all indicated that you have read the new raid policy. If you haven't, if you said you did but you haven't, but please look at and read. It's in Discord. It's the channel called #RaidPolicies. Just take 10 minutes. Make sure you understand it. It's not, the idea is that we don't want to restrict, we don't want to be on top of people or limiting or, preventing people from having fun. It's about all of us, Virtue calls it homeostasis, I call it alignment. When everybody knows the playbook, we're all going to be moving forward together. So just would ask you to make certain that you understand our raid policies. And most of you have raided with us in the past, you know what they are, but again, I've just updated them for MoP. So please just take a few minutes to take a look at them. So that is all that I have. Officers, is there anything that I missed or anything that I should have said that I shouldn't have said? Or is there anything I shouldn't have said that I did?
He can't hear your things.
I know. No, I think it was good.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or concerns or anything of that nature? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So as a sub for the raids, do you still want me to sign up 2 days early, or do you want me to wait for your call outs so that we fill in the slots?
Yep. If you end up being a sub, then if we have people that don't sign up 2 days before, then I'll reach out to you and ask you to sign up.
Okay.
Dots,
You should be able to sign up on the bench.
Yep, you can do that.
On the bench, perfect.
That's
Okay,
great.
that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
So sign up
yeah,
through the
if you
bench,
just-
and then from there we go.
Exactly. That's way easier for us because that way we know like who to reach out to. Like, oh, he's available that day. He's put himself on the bench. He can raid that night. Then all I got to do is like, oh, I know what your character is. Automatically, you're available that night. Answers a bunch of questions. I could just shoot you a message like, hey, you're on. Are you still good? And then you're like, yep. And then we can go from there.
Love it. Perfect idea. Thank you. Thank you for that, Virtue. Other
Everything's going through Discord, right?
Yeah.
All the signups and stuff. You're not going to use the in-game calendar at all.
No, we'll just do everything through Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
For rating, I wasn't paying attention. Can you repeat it again?
I do have a serious question though.
Shoot.
Can I get the first legendary?
No,
I mean, if you
almost
get all the
finished
pieces to
mine,
it-
so I'm
Isn't that just
next in
cloaks?
line.
Yeah, it's close.
I mean, it's a cloak and everybody gets it. So
There you go.
If
No,
you get all the
my
pieces
staff
made
never
first,
got finished, so it's all me first.
well, I guess you better grind
Whisper,
that rip out.
I can help you run through Molten Core and we'll get you a legendary.
Oh, I don't
Well,
think I want that one. Don't you worry.
Unless they changed it, if you're on a quest, you can loot the items from the bosses.
by the way,
Yeah,
just,
it was a joke because everybody gets it.
just for whenever
So
you're
you're not
leveling
getting
up
it for sure.
and capping out, there is a 450 weapon available, but it's through the scenarios. Like that's the new amphitheater of like the little gladiator shit they have in every expansion. It is a scenario now that you have to do it.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, I know you don't expect people to come in there with PvP gear, right?
So why
That should
not?
go without saying.
Yeah.
It
Well, I'll let you know right now.
but-
I'm showing up in PvP gear. That's on my BIS list.
Well,
I mean, there's going to be some special cases for certain pieces with that kind of stuff.
yeah, I just know PvP gear. You're lacked of half of the secondary stats, so I don't know.
You're
I
only
think that-
only getting them to get inside the heroic dungeons, and then you'll most
Yeah.
people will more than likely replace it.
Yeah, I think the main thing is that like a lot of this stuff is just going to be sort of common sense, right? Do your best to do some research on pre-bis and all that, and just make an effort to try to start working towards it before the raid night.
Have they announced when the Celestial dungeons are going to be released?
2 weeks
2
after the raid.
weeks. Okay.
So literally,
After
this
the raid?
talk
Oh,
about
shit.
gearing up is only relevant for the first 3 weeks, because after that, you're just hit Twilight Dungeon or whatever the Celestial dungeons until you're fully raid geared.
All right.
Raid Finder gear, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean, keep it up with all that.
I would just encourage you guys to find groups of 5 with a healer and a tank and 3 DPS. Sometimes that can be helpful, especially the healers. They can kind of struggle sometimes with leveling. So if you're a social Butterfly, feel free to group up and help each other out while we're in the leveling and gear up phase. That's the most crucial thing to help us all get to raid ready on the 31st. So,
are we doing planned world bosses or just hit it whenever you can get your go?
Shaw, yeah, I mean the Shaw, hit it when you can.
And then there's a dinosaur too eventually, right? Or am I thinking the wrong thing? Isn't there like a dinosaur island? But there's one boss on.
That's not until later.
Yeah, but that is MoP, right? I'm not.
It is MoP. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's later.
Thunder Isles, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah, I love Thunder. That's right. That's right.
No, there's another one that's just up at the
north.
top. Yeah, there's just a
Yeah, it's
giant
just-
T-Rexy. Like I remember doing it. It was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, Timeless Isle as well.
It's
That's way
Timeless
later.
Isle is pretty close to the end.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, questions? I appreciate everybody being here. You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Do we have professions worked out, or is it just random whoever does it?
So we've got. I know my professions. We've got in here in Discord. We've got a. Well, actually, you can see everybody's profession in the roster. So if you click on the roster, you can filter it by profession, and you can link and see what everybody has.
In case anybody else is waiting on those heirloom pants, we need 600 in every profession to unlock it.
Yeah. So definitely everybody. Yeah, I would think surely everybody will have everything covered. In a guild this big, we should have everything covered. So that's a good question.
Don't call me Shirley.